Hey everybody, it's Dave Ward. Welcome back to our series on indoor cycling. If you're new, I've been doing a series on indoor cycling, and the reason for that is because since 2007, I have been a Beachbody coach. I've actually been a customer since 2003, and I have a ton of customers who are interested in the new acquisition of Mix Fitness by Beachbody, which happened just here in June 2021. This is July 2021. In September of 2021, Beachbody is going to be launching workouts for a spin bike made by Mix Fitness via our on-demand portal, which is super excited. We've got a lot of people who are asking questions about that, the things that they're going to need, the best way to get the most out of it. We've been talking about how to get stronger, more efficient, and also how to get more out of the data that you're going to receive via the bike, and then also data via third-party apps, which is stuff I've been talking about. So that's why I'm here. Welcome to my office. This is also the hub of indoor cycling for me. This is the bike I'm using currently. It's for your bike nerds out there. It's a 2021 Specialized S-Works Roubaix sitting on a Wahoo KICKR, which I usually am doing Zwift on. I've done a couple trainer road exercise or workouts as well, but I really like Zwift for that right now. Once the Mix bike comes out, I'll be getting a Mix bike as well and be doing both of these. I've been a cyclist for I don't even know how long. I was a triathlete for a while, a mountain biker. I've got a fixed gear, or used to have. I just sold a fixed gear bike that I used to ride on a velodrome for a few years, and I'm a big roadie. So super into cycling, big believer in cycling as one of the best exercises you can get, and also indoor cycling as a way to really have a lot of fun and get a great workout. And I want to talk today about the 5 things that are kind of must-haves, in my opinion, must-haves in order to get the most out of your indoor cycling experience, whether you're using a Mix bike, a roadie on a trainer, or a Peloton, or one of the Nordic Track, or any of the other indoor cycling setups that you're going to have. And there's really 5 things that I think are going to make your whole experience better. Let's start with the first one. Proper pair of shoes with the correct set of cleats, okay? What you see with most indoor spin bikes, and if you're on a roadie, you've already got this dialed, so I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. You've probably got a few of these things dialed, actually. What you see is they have a pedal that on one side has a little cage that'll grab the top of your shoe, and on the bottom side of the pedal rather has a cleat where you could just clip into it. Here's why I think you want this over a regular shoe. Now, these are pretty flimsy. These are kind of my older minimalist trainers, but if I have a cage and I have a shoe like this, my foot is going to go like that really easily, and there's no stability in a shoe like this. Now, again, it's a pretty flimsy shoe. A running shoe might be a little bit more stable, but not like a proper road cycling shoe, which is super rigid. These are a fairly expensive model. I think these were like $300, $350, something like that. You don't need to spend that much. What I would suggest is you go to a bike shop, find one that sells road bikes in particular, tell them what you're doing and that you want to get a pair of shoes for indoor cycling. Get a proper pair of shoes. You also need the proper cleat. These are not the proper cleats for those shoes. So I have an older pair of shoes that I didn't get rid of, thankfully, and I'll be putting the correct cleats on those. If you're using a Mix bike, that cleat is an SPD. So you need a pair of road shoes, which you can probably get in for about $100, $150, maybe less, with an SPD cleat if you're using a Mix bike. Check and see. SPD cleat is by far the most common brand. If you're going to be on the road and you're going to drop into like a spin cycle or something, probably an SPD cleat is what you're going to be using there as well. So it's handy if you like to do that sort of thing. It's handy to have a pair of SPD cleats, even if you are a roadie and you just want to pop in and do a spin class or whatever. A pair of SPD cleats, probably the most useful thing. So that's number 1, proper pair of stiff road cycling shoes, or something that's designed specifically for a spin bike. And again, the SPD cleats. If it's designed for a spin bike, it probably comes with SPD cleats. So that's number 1. Number 2, proper pair of cycling shorts. Cycling shorts have something called a chamois in them. This is just a padded lining that protects you and makes you a lot more comfortable. And this is what we're talking about, is comfort here. I'm going to suggest that you get bib shorts. These are bib shorts. They have, they kind of go over your shoulders. What they do is they just keep your shorts from falling down, so you don't have to constantly be yanking up on them, which is super annoying, when all you really want to do is work out. So along the same lines of the shorts, let's just talk about saddles really quickly. This is a saddle, not a seat. If it's a bike, it's a saddle. So if you're buying a mixed bike or whatever you're buying, it comes with one. That doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable. And in my experience, they're kind of bulky. They're extra padded. That's not really what I'm looking for in a saddle. This saddle is a professional road biking saddle. It was also fairly expensive. This is a fairly expensive road bike setup. And by the way, if you want to stick around at the end, I'll give you a little tour of the bike. But I was fit for this. When I got fit for this bike, I was fit for this saddle. I tried, I don't know how many, several, until we found the right one that fit my body anatomically. So again, if you get on the bike and you got a proper pair of shorts and you're still not comfortable, you should not be uncomfortable in the saddle. Take it off of your bike, take it down to the same bike shop where you got your shoes, tell the guy there or the woman there what you're doing and that this seat is uncomfortable. They will set you up with a couple of different saddles to try. And that, I think, is going to make a huge difference. The idea here is just be comfortable, okay? If you're not comfortable, you're not going to want to get on the bike. And if you don't want to get on the bike, you just have, whatever, a $1,500, or in this case, significantly more, piece of equipment there that you're not going to use because it's uncomfortable. And it shouldn't be. If you have a proper pair of shorts, again, like the bibs, better, and a comfortable saddle that's properly fitted to you, this should be a comfortable experience that you should really, really enjoy. Okay. Number three. Number three is a little bit broader category. We're going to talk about managing sweat. So understand and expect you're going to sweat. That's the idea. And when you're outdoor on a bike, you sweat, but you're also moving, so the wind sort of dries you off very quickly. It does not happen when you're inside. When you're inside, you sweat a ton. So let's kind of start from the ground up and work our way upstairs. So first thing is a mat. This looks like a yoga mat. It's not a yoga mat. It's like a hard vinyl. It's super easy to clean. I can just run over it with my Swiffer after I'm done. If you follow me on Instagram, like after I do workouts on this thing, I post pictures of the puddles as a determination of how hard I was working that day. And then I just go grab the Swiffer and just zip and then clean it up real quick. And it's super, super easy. If you're going to be on carpet, especially, like I have tile underneath this, but so I could clean that too, but I still use it because I don't want to, sweat's actually very corrosive with salt. Just get a proper mat. This is a 3x5 mat. When I get my mixed bike, I'll have this is a 3x6 mat. The mixed bike that I'll get a 4x6 mat. Little bit bigger footprint. That's really what you want. I just got this off of Amazon. I don't remember how much it was. It was years ago. But need a proper mat, catch all the sweat at the bottom. Moving up the bike, if you're using a road bike, you want to have one of these little sweat catcher bra sort of things. That's probably a good idea for one of the spin bikes as well, though I don't think it's quite as necessary. They're more designed to be sweat on, whereas my road bike, my carbon fiber road bike, is definitely not designed to be sweat on. And sweat's really corrosive, so you want to have something like that if you're using this type of setup, or if you're using, you might want to think about that if you've got a bike. Next thing, towels. 2 towels. One to wipe off your head, your forearms, wherever else you happen to get sweaty, and one for over the bars. This is real important with a road bike for sure because the sweat is corrosive. Again, these are carbon fiber handlebars. This is real nice bar tape. I don't want the sweat to mess that up. I will tell you, these get absolutely soaked. Like this thing is soaked. So I wouldn't get just 2 towels, get multiple towels. If you're working on a spin bike, they make really nice custom fitted sort of sleeves that go right over the bars, and they're made out of that terry cloth material. Get 2 of those, okay? Because again, it's gonna get soaked, and you don't wanna have to wash that thing every time. Same thing with the bib shorts. Don't buy 1 pair. If you're planning on working out 5 or 6 days a week on your bike, you're gonna want a couple pairs to rotate through so you're not constantly washing them. Also with the bib shorts, hand wash them. It's just, they'll make them last way, way longer. Okay, what else? Sweat-wise, a headband or some sort of a hat, something to keep the sweat out of your eyes. Again, your head is gonna sweat a ton. This is what I like. I've been using the same brand since the triathlon days. It's called Halo, is the name of the brand. Hopefully you can see that. I'll get real close here. And what it's got this little bead that's sewn right into, this is rubber, a little rubber bead that's sewn right in here that goes right across the top of your forehead, or the bottom of your forehead rather, and it just channels sweat away from your eyes. So you're still sweating, that's not gonna stop you from sweating. It's just going to keep the sweat out of your eyes. Something like that. And again, this Halo brand, huge fan of, is going to really help you. Now, you can also and should also get a fan, okay? This is just a regular old oscillating fan that I have set on a box that is sort of a little bit up higher where it's going to hit me where I'm actually sweating in my head, in my chest, rest of my body. That really helps. It's not going to keep you from sweating. It's just going to help you sweat a little bit less. But a fan is another thing. So that's the third thing, is just learning how to manage sweat. Number 4 is some sort of an insulated water bottle. If you're using if you want a proper road bike bottle, or you can use something like a hydro flask, just kind of depends on personal preference and ability to store it. Obviously with this setup, I'm going to use a road bike bottle. This is a Camelback Podium bottle. I've been using these for years as well. I've got a whole bunch of them. And they just keep things a little bit colder. Not as cold as a hydro flask for sure, but big fan of having cool drink. Again, lower your body core temperature, a little less sweat, a little bit less, a little bit more comfortable. So that's number 4, insulated water bottle. The 5th one is a way to have your phone handy. So this is what's called a quad lock, which is what I use and what I really like. It comes with a number of different mounts. They're just like little rubber bands that you can kind of attach to just about anything. I've got a lot of friends who are motorcycle riders, and they really love them. And it's just got a little kind of channel on the back of the phone case there, and it just locks right in like that. Now, that's something that's really necessary if you're going to use a program like Zwift, because the primary way you can control the in-game, it's a game, it's the way they pitch it, the in-game experience is with your phone. It's the easiest way to control it. You can also do it with the keyboard, but that's way over here, and I'm over here. My phone, I want it right here. But you might also want to just be on Instagram, okay? Hopefully you're working hard enough that you don't really have the ability to be on Instagram. The other reason I like it is that for data, okay? So whatever indoor bike you're using, I think they all come with some form of heart rate monitor. Those heart rate monitors are fine. I don't know how robust that data is yet because I don't have one yet. My guess is it's not going to be as robust as this. This is a Wahoo Ticker, and the Wahoo Ticker app is outstanding. It provides so much data that I really find valuable, and I like to look at it while I'm riding too. So instead of just telling me, oh, right now, your heart rate is at 160 beats per minute, and your average for this workout is, say, 155 beats per minute, I want to know how long I've been in each of the specific training zones. Training zones and heart rate zones is an entirely different video that, either send me an email, I'll send it to you, or you can find it here on our YouTube page or here on the website if you're looking at this on the fitclubnetwork.com. But training zones are super important, and I want to know in live time how long, in particular, the upper zones, there's only so long I can stay at my max. And I know what those numbers are, and I want to know, am I there or not? So super robust. Also, for if you're on a road bike and you have a power meter, it's the same sort of logic. I want to know what my power numbers are, and the ability to have either a phone or my bike computer. One of those two things is super handy, although my bike computer is usually covered by that towel. So I usually just use my phone for that data, which is really nice. So that's number 5. Have a way to have your phone handy. These are my must-haves. If there's more, if there's other things that you think are super essential, I'd love to know what they are. But again, this is really about making indoor cycling the most enjoyable experience. That's what these things are. They're mostly, as you can see, kind of comfort items. Shoes, bibs, sweat management, the insulated water bottle, and some way to have your phone handy. And I think you're going to have a much more enjoyable experience. I hope you find this valuable. If you're currently a Beachbody customer, you have Beachbody On Demand subscription, you have questions about the Mixed Bike or the Beachbody Interactive program, which is where they're going to distribute content, live classes, all kinds of cool stuff for the Mixed Bike, please feel free to reach out. Again, I've been doing this since 2007, so got a large group of people who are going to be doing this together. I'm super excited for them, super excited for myself to get a hold of my bike here in September. But in the meantime, go get the 5 things and get ready to have some fun on your bike. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, info@thefitclubnetwork.com. Talk to you soon. All right, bike nerd kids. As promised, just a quick tour around the S-Works. 2021 S-Works Rope Bay in this amazing this amazing paint job. You can see it goes from like this blue metal flake down to this purple color. It just kind of keeps changing color in the sun. It's pretty rad. Super stoked on this bike. Full Ultegra Di2 throughout. You thought about going with DA, but I don't really need Dura-Ace. And it was impossible to source. I mean, getting the Ultegra parts was crazy. Actually, this crank, I had a Cervelo S2 before, and I had just recently bought this crank from my buddy Kerry up at Action Sports in Bakersfield, and we had to pull this crank off of that bike and put it on this one because we couldn't get a crank. Like, sourcing parts is just crazy now. So yeah, full Ultegra Di2. It works great. The Di2 electric shifting is just nuts. Huge fan of this. I've got the yellow bar tape on there. This, if you're not familiar with the Roubaix, get the quad lock off of here. It's a little tricky with one hand. It has this little dial, and then there's a little suspension mode in here. So you can really lock this thing off, and it barely moves. Or you can really give it some play. So it's super versatile. I haven't done any gravel riding with it yet. It's only like a month and a half old, but you know, I might get out on the gravel with it. The waffle ride was this weekend, and I just had too many conflicts. I couldn't get it done, but yeah, I'm super happy with it, and unbelievable that Kerry was able to pull this thing together and score me a bike as quickly as he was, even though we did have a little trouble getting it all spec'd out. But there you go. Super stoked on it.